Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to briefly analyze how Martial and Rashford played a key role in unlocking Sheffield United's backline. When we break down the game and we do look at the board, we have Manchester United in a 4-2-3-1, and Sheffield United played in a 3-5-2 that ultimately dropped into a 5-3-2 out of possession. What we ended up seeing from Manchester United was that they did encounter a few issues in the early stages with Sheffield United's pressing, and it did result in Sheffield United's opener. And what we ended up seeing from Sheffield United was that they did have the front two looking to step towards the center backs, but also blocking off the passing lane into Matic and Pogba. That meant that Berga and Fleck were responsible for shifting out to Alex Telles or Wan-Bissaka. And if they didn't have Rashford or Greenwood holding the touchline to occupy Baldock or Stevens, then you would see Baldock and Stevens stepping forward to close down the Manchester United fullbacks. What we did see from United was that they did have Nemanja Matic dropping off deeper to split the center backs or shifting out towards the left of Harry Maguire to get on the ball. That created a 3v2 at the back, and it allowed United to push forward from those deeper positions, and it also ensured that the fullbacks could push forward to peg back the Sheffield United wingbacks. That meant that Paul Pogba did hold a central position, and there was often a pentagonal shape, ensuring that Pogba couldn't get on the ball in those central areas, and he also had Ampadu stepping forward to apply pressure. Another key component to Sheffield United's 5-3-2 out of possession was that they did adopt a high line with the five-man backline squeezing with the central midfield trio to ensure that Bruno Fernandes couldn't get on the ball between the lines. So Bruno Fernandes often shifted out into those wider areas to receive possession or into deeper positions ahead of the midfield bank, and that disrupted Manchester United's overall creativity. There were times where we did see Rashford and Martial dropping off deeper towards the halfway line to pick up the ball to run at the Sheffield United backline, but they also struggled in that area. However, Manchester United were able to fight back into the game through the movement and speed of Martial and Rashford, and that was down to Manchester United playing balls over the top to bypass the Sheffield United high line. In the earlier stages, the hosts were warned of United's threat, whether it be the time that Matic carried the ball to the halfway line to slide the ball to Martial, but Ramsdale was able to clear it and Martial was offside, or the time that Wan-Bissaka clipped the ball over Fleck to locate Rashford's run in between Egan and Robinson. And there was also a time where Matic backheeled the ball across Ampadu and Basham for Bruno Fernandes, and he was able to play a reverse ball over the substitute Jagielka for Rashford breaking in behind that Sheffield United high line, but he skied his effort over the net before he realized he was ruled offside. What should also be noted is that following the departure of Berga, we saw Basham move into that midfield zone, and 38-year-old Jagielka stepped into that Sheffield United backline, and it was clear that Solskjaer was looking to target and exploit his lack of pace. When we look to the build-up to Manchester United's opener, we witnessed Wan-Bissaka dropping off the ball to Lindelof, and we immediately witnessed Rashford making a bending run across Baldock. Lindelof identifies Rashford continuing his run across Jagielka to break freely into a goal-scoring position, and he plays a long ball over the Sheffield United backline. While Jagielka does well to track Rashford's run beyond the host's backline, the Man United striker brings down Lindelof's ball with his first touch, and Rashford's counter to Jagielka's excellent tracking job was his excellent first touch, followed by a powerful finish beyond Ramsdale with his second to level the scoreline. If we look to another example, it's Maguire stepping towards the halfway line due to United having a 3v2 at the back to slide the ball across Basham for Bruno Fernandes, shifting to the left touchline to play a first-time ball over the Sheffield United high line. Ahead of Bruno Fernandes is Alex Telles occupying Baldock, and Rashford beginning to make a run between Egan and Jagielka. Bruno Fernandes plays the first-time ball beyond Baldock and Alex Telles and across Jagielka for Rashford breaking towards goal. But Rashford fails to get onto the overhit pass into left half space that Ramsdale recovers. Shortly after that, we witness Martial dispossessing Jagielka near the halfway line, following an upwards header from a Maguire clearance, and that's where you see Rashford instantly beginning to push forward. Following Rashford sliding the ball to Bruno Fernandes in Sheffield United's third, we witness Martial running across Fleck to the far post, and Rashford darting off Egan's shoulder. Bruno Fernandes clips the ball over Sheffield United's defenders into an unmarked Martial peeling towards the back post, and he opts to chest it down with his first touch, but Martial's chest down into the 6-yard box gives Egan enough time to shift across to clear danger and deny Man United a legitimate goal-scoring opportunity. In the build-up to United's second goal, we witness Bruno Fernandes pulling out Fleck, but the runs from Greenwood that pulls out Robinson and Wan-Bissaka's forward run pulling out Ampadu and Stevens create space for Pogba to drift laterally and receive possession freely, while Martial positions himself between Jagielka and Egan with Rashford behind Baldock. There are two things we should focus on here. First, Pogba receives the ball freely ahead of Basham pressure, and Martial beginning to make a run off Egan's shoulder with Jagielka switched off facing the other direction. That results in Pogba looping a first-time ball over Ampadu and Stevens for Martial running across Egan's shoulder into right half space, and as you could see, Jagielka doesn't track the run. Martial receives Pogba's loop ball over the Sheffield United backline in right half space, which results in Ramsdale jumping off his line to attempt to win the ball, and Martial wins the challenge with the Sheffield United goalkeeper in right half space and pokes the loose ball into the open net to give the away side the lead. If we look to another Man United counterattack, it starts with Pogba dispossessing McGoldrick in the midfield zone ahead of Martial. That results in Martial carrying the ball into Sheffield United's third, with Rashford making a run between Baldock and Jagielka towards the box. Martial ends up sliding the ball to Rashford, and he takes his touch across Jagielka into left half space and forces Ramsdale into a save, and to be fair, he should be scoring from this position. If we look to that second half, Rashford continued his dominance down that left side until United killed off the game. First, we witnessed Alex Telles bypassing Basham and Baldock to play the ball to Rashford just ahead of the halfway line, and Jagielka immediately steps forward to apply pressure. However, Rashford immediately nutmegs Jagielka to break into Sheffield United's half to ignite another counterattack. Rashford easily runs across Baldock, Ampadu, and Egan en route towards the Sheffield United penalty area, with Martial about to make a run across Robinson and Greenwood in the right channel ahead of Stevens. Rashford completes his run with a pass across Robinson for Greenwood in right half space, and here he should be making a run across Stevens to receive a return pass, but he halts his movement, thus forcing Greenwood to take on the Sheffield United left wingback, who successfully blocks the shot attempt. And following great individual work from Pogba, the build-up to Man United's third goal involves Jagielka fouling Greenwood, Rashford ahead of Baldock and Basham, with Bruno Fernandes charging into Sheffield United's half and Martial goal side of Robinson calling for the ball. Rashford splits Basham and Baldock to play in Bruno Fernandes between the lines, with Martial darting into the Egan and Robinson gap to serve as the most dangerous forward passing option. Bruno Fernandes slides the ball across Robinson for Martial, and you can see Egan beginning to shift across, but what should also be highlighted here is Rashford continuing his forward movement beyond Baldock to break towards Sheffield United's goal. As Martial receives the ball ahead of Egan, Rashford is breaking freely beyond Baldock into a goal-scoring position that ultimately creates a 2v1, and the significance of Rashford's run was on full display here as Martial's heavy touch across Egan falls into the path of Rashford, who fires a first-time low effort beyond Henderson to put Man United up 3-1, and that ultimately killed off the game. Hi everybody, thanks for watching, and subscribe here for your latest tactical analysis and daily commentary on the Interview show. And if that wasn't enough, don't forget you could find more organic, unfiltered soccer/football analysis on the Interviews podcast, the best soccer/football podcast in the world, available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and any Android apps on your Android devices.